in this focus video, we will be working on the organization of your essay. Right now you have a lot of really good ideas and really good points, but they are a little bit jumbled and disorganized. So for this video, we will work on how to improve that part of your essay. So to begin with, let's take a look at my example introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph is a really important part of the essay because it sets up what you're going to be talking about, what your argument is, and how the entire essay is going to be organized. So let's read mine together. For many decades of American classroom instruction, students diligently worked on their penmanship, spending a large portion of each day on learning to create perfect swirls, curlicues, and flourishes for each individual letter. Today, politicians and parents and educators are deeply divided as to whether this outdated practice should remain a part of students' instructional time, or if their class time would be better spent with a focus on technology and modern skills. So that first part of the introductory essay that's highlighted here in orange is the hook and frame. We get the reader's attention, and then we present what is the controversy that we're arguing about. Next, highlighted in green, is the thesis statement. This is the single most important sentence of the entire essay, so it's important that it's set up really strong before we get into the rest of it. My thesis statement reads, although many would argue that handwriting instruction is an invaluable life skill that students should continue to develop in elementary school and beyond, penmanship is increasingly becoming an obsolete practice that takes time away from more relevant technological instruction and serves as a divisive cultural flashpoint. Therefore, handwriting instruction should not continue to be a staple in today's schools. So I begin my thesis statement by talking about people who disagree with me, who think that kids still should learn how to do penmanship in school. Then I give two reasons penmanship is becoming obsolete, and it serves as a divisive cultural flashpoint. Then my final part of my thesis statement, my stance or my claim, handwriting instruction should not continue to be a part of today's schools. So for your thesis statement, the first thing that you need to do is to pick your stance. You have to decide, for purposes of the essay, if you're going to argue that teens should or should not be able to vote. It's okay if you have mixed feelings about it, but for purposes of writing, you have to pick a side. Next, we are going to take a look at the thesis statement itself. As a reminder, this should be the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. So to begin, you should have, although some would argue that 16 and 17-year-olds, then you should put that they either should or should not. Because we're starting with the word although, this is the part of the thesis statement where we are presenting what the other side thinks. So if you think that 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds should be able to vote, then this first part of the thesis statement you should say should not. If you think that 16 and 17-year-olds should not be able to vote, then in this first part of the thesis statement, you should pick the word should. So whatever is the opposite of your belief is what you should pick for this clause that starts with although. Then we're going to have a comma. We'll have the words these teens and then a blank. In that blank, here and here, you need to give two reasons, not three, not one, but two reasons why you think the way that you think. So if you think they should be able to vote, you should have two reasons why they should. If you think they should not, you should have two reasons why they should not. Then finally, we'll have the words therefore the legal voting age should, and then you can fill in that blank, should stay the same, should not stay the same, whatever you think the answer is. And again, reminder, your thesis statement should come at the end of your introductory paragraph. Please pause the video here. Make sure that your thesis statement is written correctly, has all the pieces that you need, and that it's at the end of your introductory paragraph. When you're done with your thesis statement, have Mrs. LP check it, and then you can go on to watch the rest of the video. Next, we want to make sure that the essay itself is organized in a way that is logical, clear, and organized. So basic structure of the essay, the introductory paragraph, which will have your hook, your frame, and your thesis statement. Then you'll get into body paragraph 1. In this body paragraph, you should focus only on the first reason from your thesis statement. Then in body paragraph 2, you should focus only on your second reason. You don't want to mix up the things that you're talking about in these paragraphs because it breaks down the organization of your writing. Your fourth paragraph of the essay will be a counter argument and rebuttal, basically introducing the other side, people who disagree with you, and explain why they are wrong. Finally, you'll do your conclusion where you wrap everything up. So another way to look at this is to have it color-coded. If I were looking at my thesis statement, my first reason why handwriting should not be taught in school is that it takes time away from more relevant technological instruction. That point is the only thing that I will discuss in body paragraph 1. This one is color-coded green, this is color-coded green. My next point, that penmanship is a divisive cultural flashpoint, meaning it divides people politically, is the only thing that I talk about in paragraph 2. So we only need 2 reasons to support our claim, and we're going to focus on them individually in body paragraphs. Then the section where I said, although people would argue that handwriting instruction is important, but it's actually not, this is what I'm going to talk about in my counter argument, introducing that other side and explaining why it's wrong. If it is helpful to you to color code your essay and your thesis statement, feel free to do so. Please let Mrs. LaPaglia know if you've got questions or want some help or want some feedback. Otherwise, you can get back into your essay and start thinking about how it's organized.